Well, the relationship goes back, obviously the company's been around for 21 years, and I was fortunate enough to be there when it started. I live in the Valley of the Sun, so I've known Bill Kilberg for over 30 years, and actually was in the trenches with John Murillo, Steve Scatino, Noel Collada, Jeffrey Cook, Anya Kraft, the names go on and on. So when we talk about relationships matter, I really feel I love the company because of that, because it really does mean about the relationships matter. So, and John and I have been working together now for over a decade. So he saw immediately the first time.
Yeah, first time.
When the first time you met him, he's like, this company is different.
Yeah, very different. And you know, it's, we talk about a company that's different. They're very much like us too, because there's so many HPNers out there. They all came from the hotel side. So we all speak the same language. We all have kind of the same feelings about the industry, et cetera. So, you know, I saw it immediately. The second I had the opportunity to meet Bill firsthand, we were fishing down on the Keys together.
Sure.
And to this day, like the relationships matter that you hear as, you know, the mantra in the company. We take that back to our own companies. It's very interesting. You do executive meetings and you'll hear the CEO of our own company go, hey guys, relationships matter. Because he was there meeting Bill with me when they first heard it. So, you know, his message goes, you know, clear across the industry every time you see it.
Give a difference when you talk about, again, back to relationships matter, and going back to the relationships I have with the guys that we're in the trenches together, and seeing how they take, Johnny Moe likes to say old school, right? Sometimes that term seems bad nowadays, but it shouldn't. You know, so we worked hard, we played hard, and then we brought that to our customers and HPN's clients, and they brought them in, and we saw how we worked together. And, you know, you just see how that bond goes, and we always want to make sure that, you know, we're taking care of HPN's clients, and clients want to go back to our properties. So with the portfolio we have, it makes sense to obviously build a relationship with somebody that we're going to do a good job. And the difference is that they're going to want to make sure they come back to us, and we let everybody know, hey, that's one of ours. Yeah. You know, with over 180 hotels, oh gosh, 200 now, you know, it was like, well, that's one of ours. Got to make sure, and they know that, you know, Paul and J Mac are going to make sure that we're working together.
Yeah, we talk about relationships matter. For me, it's, you know, people do business with people they know and love, right? It goes both ways. You know, salespeople in our industry that are doing business with HPN, they're doing business with a friend. Right. I look at all the HPNers that I know out there, they're all personal friends of mine. That it's not just sending an email to check in, it's calling and saying, hey, how the kids doing? You know, checking on, you know, our sports teams together and everything that we do. It's, you know, going through life together as partners, as friends, which that transcends everything in our industry. And that, I think, post-pandemic has been the most important learning out of anything we've seen in the industry. What HPN's mantra is all about. It's, you know, the relationships really do matter.
Absolutely.
I made the adage today when we were doing the panel. I said, you know, think about the first phone calls you made during lockdown and the pandemic in this industry. The people you called first were the people you cared about. Those were your friends in the industry, not someone you were just doing business with. Well, think about that. Like HPN, I'd say those were our first calls out of the box.
It was. No, it actually, so with Pyramid coming out of COVID, J-Mac and I said, you know, we've got to get people back together. People wanted to be together. So we decided that our first destination experience was going to be HPN only. So to have Bill Kilberg, Harold Batiste, Steve Scatino, Johnny Murillo, Brian Aroni, name the names, Mark Dullman, get together, go down our great property in the Keys, and just start it again. That was 2.5 years ago. Yeah. And exponentially, we've all grown together. So that's the difference we're talking about. And our company motto is be the difference. So relationships matter, and be the difference really comes together.
Me personally, it's the friendships we're making. You know, we said it earlier, it's like a dysfunctional family reunion here. You know, when you go to an HPN conference. But it's true, you walk into the room, you can tell you're in an HPN conference by the decibel level of the crowd. Right. Because everybody knows everybody in the room. And not only do they know them on a professional level, but in a lot of cases on a personal level. So you're catching up with, you know, people that you may only see once or twice a year physically. But when you do, man, you're catching up. You're really catching up.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this event alone, to talk about, you know, HPN 2023, to think about it, the first time I met Harold was back in the day when he was with Marriott and I was with the Benchmark division before we became Pyramid. And we built a relationship here at this conference. People would say we're competitors, But are we? We're just people working hard, building those relationships, and now Harold comes to the company.
Yeah.
And so my establishment, my relationship with him was already set. So personally, I mean, obviously I can go back to being with the guys forever since we're 22-year-old telemarketers. But you know, to just build these relationships with people who are out in our industry doing what we do, it's amazing.
Well, you talk about relationships. Even our families talk about our HPN friends.
Yes.
Right? Greatest line in both of our households are to our wives: don't fall in love with Harold.
It's true. Don't fall in love with Harold. Okay, we all did.
Yeah. Second, you see that guy on the dance floor, don't fall in love.
Don't fall in love with him. I think my wife said, "I can see why."
I can see.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, thanks, Harold.
Best looking guy in the room.